Hi everybody, it's Brett here, Lionheart84. I'm going to do a bit of a shaky video today because it's quite windy out here and I've managed to come out in between rain spells, so I think it's going to get sunnier later. And I just wanted to do a very quick video on my handful of persimmon flowers that I've got on various varieties, in the hope that we might get 3 or 4 persimmons this year of different varieties. Last year I had 2 or 3 very small persimmons on one plant, which is a Jiro, but it looks like I might get a handful more persimmons this year on different varieties. And the first one I'm looking at is, if I can catch it, that one there, which is out of focus. Typically enough it won't focus. That's a Rojo Brillante. You can probably see it even though it's out of focus. This plant has got 2 flowers on it, so the odds of getting persimmons aren't that high. But having said that, as there's only 2, the plant might hold on to them because it hasn't got an excess number. So that's a Rojo Brillante. That's my first plant that's got some flowers on. Now the next one I've got here, this is my Cioccolatino. This is the one that had 3 types of flowers on it. It had male flowers, it had what I presume are hermaphrodite flowers, and it had female flowers. Now if we take a look at this here, again it might be a problem to get it to focus. Yeah, typically enough it doesn't want to focus in. We've got 2 distinct types of flowers here. Typically enough the sun's coming out of my face now, or in the lens. I've got 2 distinct types of flowers here. We've got the this large one, which I think, if I'm getting the right way round, is the female flower, and then these 2 smaller ones behind it. I can't focus the camera because I'm having to hold the leaves out of the way with the hand that I'd normally use to focus the camera. Now these are the ones here are much smaller flowers, but actually do have clear fruit set on them. Oh, I wish I could find a way to focus it. It's not going to be very easy. Let's see if I can get up from underneath and get it to focus. Typically enough, now the sun's shining on the lens, I can't actually see if I'm even looking at them, much less focusing. Oh, there, I've got some focus now. Now, I think these are the self-fertile hermaphrodite flowers, because you can see the embryo fruit, certainly in the rear one, and the other one also has an embryo fruit. But then next to it, you've got this much larger one with the enlarged calyx and the swollen area behind it, which is also set fruits. I believe the smaller ones might be hermaphrodite flowers, and the larger one I think is the female flower, which develops fruit without pollination, which is common on a lot of the Asian persimmons. So that's on my Cioccolatino. Now if we move down here, if I can get in on this one in here, again, not easy to see, but behind there is 1 flower. Now that's on my Fuyu. That's on my Fuyu persimmon, that one. And I've got 1 flower, so obviously I'm hoping that will hold, as it would be nice to have a Fuyu fruit this year. Sorry the camera doesn't want to know and focus where I want it to focus. I said it's very hard to operate it because I'm sort of doing it one-handed at the moment. I think we've got a bit of focus on it now. So that's my one and only Fuyu flower. Now if we move on, I have quite a few tiny persimmons forming on this plant here. Now this one is this is as far as I know, a Lotus persimmon. Now it was bought as a proc, but the graft clearly hadn't taken, And last year I got 1 flower and fruit on it, and this year I suppose it's got half a dozen. Don't think they're really considered to be particularly edible, but it's nice just to have a species persimmon. And this one should be a Lotus, certainly not a proc. And I can't show the flowers unfortunately, but I have actually, I believe, got about half a dozen flowers on my Jiro at the back, but as it's at the back near the fence and it's got very heavy leaf growth on it, I'm pretty sure when I was moving the plants a couple of weeks ago I saw about 3 or 4 flower buds, so I think it's quite likely I'll get some fruits on my Jiro again this year, and I'm hoping they'll be a little bit bigger than they were last time. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 persimmons with 1 or 2 flowers on, so I'm hoping that I'll get 2 or 3 different varieties of persimmon to try this year. I mean, it may well be that the flowers and fruits will fall off, they often do, but it would be nice to try Cioccolatino, and it would be nice to try my own Rojo Brillante, so I'm just hoping that we don't get any difficult weather and that at least 1 or 2 of the fruits hold on. But that was for anyone who was interested in seeing it. And this, I mean, oh, whoops, sorry, just losing grip on the camera there because I was trying to do it with one hand. I've got 2 hands on it now. Obviously this year it's sort of early days because the plants are still pretty young, but they're now getting to the size where next year I would expect probably 7 or 8 of them will be large enough to get flowers and fruit on and well established in their pot. So I'm hoping next year is going to be a better year, but this year I'm quite pleased just to get a few. I'm just hoping they stay on the plant. So anyway, that was a quick look at my, just a quick rundown of my persimmons that have had female flowers on them, or hermaphrodite flowers, and might set a few fruits for anyone who's interested. Thank you for watching the video. Much appreciate it. If you can give me a like, I'd be appreciative of that as well. Share the video with anyone you think might be interested. Obviously subscribe to my channel, and if you get a chance, click on the bell and you will be notified about upcoming videos which will include updates on the persimmons and whether or not any of the fruits held. So enjoy the rest of your day. It's Brett out, and I'll catch up with you all soon.